Okay, so I am really excited and so happy to welcome Nikki here today. Nikki is one of our frontline responders to this whole pandemic going on. And so first of all, I want to take that opportunity to say kudos. And I cannot thank you enough, Nikki, for all you're doing, because I know you are working so much right now, and a mom and a wife and all of those things, and a daughter and a sister, everything. But I just want to thank you personally from the bottom of my heart for all you're doing to help people right now in a really huge way.
Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So with that, I kind of had to schedule this time with Nikki because she's been really, really busy helping so many patients and people in the hospitals right now as a nurse. So Nikki and I have known each other for what, maybe a little over a year or so.
Yeah,
And
probably.
yeah, we met through church at a women's retreat. And then, Nikki kind of knew what I did, but was kind of skeptical and thought, I don't know what you thought when you first knew what I did. You just thought, oh, well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not, you don't talk about your undergarments. Are you kidding me?
I just met her
weird.
at church. So then we met up again at the women's retreat a year later, and we're standing around this little table, and Nikki says to me,
I have nothing to lose. Like, I need your help.
She's like, I think I'm ready to try this out. Tell me more about Ruby Ribbon. I don't know. You just kind of had this like, okay, that's enough. Like
I just got to pull the trigger and I'm just going to come out and say it. But I have issues with my bra and I'm really uncomfortable and you got to help me in the middle of church. So yeah.
Right. So it was all women. So, I guess it's
all
good
good.
Place event. It's all good. Right. It's real stuff. So Nikki, then you tried your first Cami. So I fit you virtually because we didn't have time even then before the pandemic to set up an in-person fitting. And so you did a Cami quiz with me and I gave you some suggestions, and tell me about kind of how that process went. So then you got your package, and tell me how that went for you.
Yeah, so after I did the online Cami quiz, you reached out to me and you gave me a couple ideas of what to order for my bust size. And I'm a 40G in a bra, and because my cup size was so big, we kind of recommended to go up that cup or that size to a 42. And I ordered, I think it was the lace Cami, the full support lace Cami, and then I ordered the original demiette. And then I myself ordered a couple other things just to kind of try. And the lace Cami I really, really liked. It took away all that ripple effect in my backside. And it gave me a lot of support in the front without the underwire. And what I was going to show you, and this is, I bought it downstairs. This is my kids jokingly call this my baseball catching mitt. This is my cup.
Now that's a face mask for you right there.
I could wear this as a hat. Look at this thing. Dude. So this is the bra that I had gotten like not even maybe 4 months before I kind of asked you for help. And I had spent a significant amount of money and I had been sized at Lane Bryant. And this was like all the rage. It's like a memory foam cup and all this. And it had all these rave reviews online. I mean, I had done my research. And what was happening is because, I'm a bigger busted woman up front and I have really thick, dense breast tissue that I have a lot of movement and a lot of play in my breasts when I move. And I'm a nurse. I'm running, I'm squatting, I'm jumping and bending, And the thing about these underwires is they don't move and they're solid, they're metal, right? So I was having a lot of pain up under my armpit. And I went back to the store and I said, hey, I'm getting all these pinching and all this pressure and all this pain. And she says, well, you're sized correctly. It's fitting you correctly. That's just how it is. And so when I came to you and I started wearing the original demiette and I started wearing the Cami, I noticed I didn't have that pain and that pressure anymore. And I wasn't having that achiness. Like I would get home and I just rip off my bra and I was having all this discomfort. And I'm like, geez, I'm sore, almost like I was bruised. And I didn't have that with the Ruby Ribbon products. And I thought that was interesting. And I thought, well, maybe it's just because our breasts changed, during the month, right? With hormone fluxes and all that. So I thought, well, maybe it was just, that I was extra swollen and tender. So I tried it again. I put on my original bra. That night I came home, same thing. I had all this pain and pressure. Well, the other thing that I kind of started thinking about, because medical, is you have lymph nodes, and your lymph nodes are like the little filter of the body. And so they filter bacteria and viruses. And that's why the doctor, when you're sick, he feels along your neck and all this, he's feeling for those swollen little lymph nodes. Well, we have them in our armpits and we have them in our lateral breast. And so I put on my...
Well, no, can I just back up here for a minute? Like, when you say lateral breast, like, tell me what you're talking about.
Yeah, like literally, sorry, because I have my cami on, so I'll show you how my cami fits
Like
me.
when you say, so like down underneath here?
I'm flashing everybody. Here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, so you have lymph nodes kind of all through your armpit, and then you have them down kind of right in your lateral breast, which is right where, if you're wearing an underwire, right where that underwire
hits.
So as I'm moving during the day and I'm, bending, squatting, that underwire was jamming into what I can only attribute to being my lymph nodes. And so I was just having all this irritation. And as a nurse, we're kind of taught pain is a vital sign. Pain is a sign that something is wrong and that something's not working right. So
listen to your body, right?
Right. I don't have that anymore. So now that I'm not wearing underwires, I don't have that breast discomfort and that, that pinching, pulling, and the thing about Ruby Ribbon is it's got flex, it's got movement, and you still have all the support, even though you don't have the underwire. So this is the sheer full support cami. Sorry, try to back up a little bit better. But, hold on, I'm going to take my sleeve out first. But this is a lower cut one. But there's no underwire because you have that like little, I don't want to say shelf because it's not a shelf, but you have that support band right underneath.
Correct.
So you just kind of, but you still get all.
You get great lift out of that cami too.
I'm sorry?
You have great lift from that cami.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't know. People are kind of surprised when, I say, oh, I don't wear underwires or I don't do this. And I just have a cami on, or I have my original demi and that kind of thing. But this is my new favorite, is this sheer. I really like this one. And then I didn't think I would love it as much as my lace, but it's my new favorite.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have variety and something to change out a little bit. Now, how long have you been wearing the camis? And so you noticed the difference and you tried it out. Yeah.
I noticed the difference that first week because I was kind of alternating between my cami and my demi. And I noticed that difference. And like I said, I'm a science minded. So I went back and tried on my bra for a while just to see maybe it was just a fluke. And I had the same issue. So then I went back and that's all I've been wearing now. So I noticed a difference right away. I've been wearing these consistently now since I think it's the end of March. And I don't think I would ever put on an underwire again.
Right.
Ever.
And then, so you had also said, because you're a nurse, you're really active, you're moving around a lot. Tell me about how you feel like any sort of bounce or movement now that you don't have the wires and you're having the cami. Do you have more extra movement because you are a larger cup size? And sometimes women have that problem where they'll ask me about bounce and, reverberation afterwards.
No, like I said, I'm wearing a 42 cami, but I'm a 40G. So I've got, 7 inches of breast tissue up front. So what I've noticed here, I probably can't, I don't have that kind of, I can pull them up, But in my scrubs, when I'm trucking, these really hold you in and hold you tight. The material really does provide. You don't have that lateral movement. You don't have that wiggle in the jiggle. Like I said, it really holds you in place and gives you good support. I actually have better lift this way in my camis than I did in my underwire. So I would say I'm probably holding my whole chest. I would say probably 2 inches higher than I did in my underwire when my straps were as tight as they could go easily. So yeah, I
Yeah.
really fabulous. Plus I don't have all the side wrinkles and the back wrinkles because
Right.
it really smooths you out when you wear your cami. It's really nice.
Right. That's just added bonuses, right? So
Well, and the fact that like when you're running, sometimes you get really hot, and I'm also of that age, approaching 50, that I'm getting hot flashes like crazy. So it wicks that sweat away, and I'm not getting pits, like that little pitty like stains in my chest and in my back, and I don't get any of that with this. It's interesting. It just kind of wicks that away.
yeah,
So,
that is awesome. That is awesome. So what would you say, because it took you about a year from the time that you knew what I did to when you tried it. So what would you say to a woman who's kind of sitting on the fence? Maybe it's a woman who's filled out a cami quiz. Maybe she's heard about Ruby Ribbon, but she's very skeptical, or all the things that maybe you were thinking the first time you heard about it. What would you say to her now?
do it now. I think what it boils down to is like, what does it hurt to try? You're never going to know unless you try it.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's like proof is in the pudding. As women, we're tactile and we want to get our hands on stuff. And, you can read all you want to, but until you actually put something on or try it on your body and use it, you're not going to necessarily believe in it. So yeah,
Right.
I would just say do it. It doesn't hurt to try. If it's not your gig, you can always return them. But
Right.
I mean, I don't think that women would be disappointed if they finally just said yes.
Right.
So,
And one of the things that does come up, obviously, especially during this time, some women are more cautious in what they're spending their money on right now.
mhm.
And so what would you say during this time? Like, what is kind of your go-to, or what are you the most comfortable in? And what would you say to somebody in terms of spending the money? Because, we're all looking at things a little bit differently, but we're all also, if you're not working in the hospital in the front line like you are, we're working at home, right? Because that's what we're supposed to do. We're at home. We're obeying the rules, Nikki.
Right, exactly, which we appreciate, trust me.
Right. So we're at home. So what would you say, speaking to that topic?
I mean, a good solid bra that you're going to buy in the store is going to run you $60 to $80 regardless of what type you spend, or what type you buy. So, Ruby Ribbon is right in the same price point as any good quality bra you're going to spend your money on in the store. So if you're in the market, you might as well try something that is known to be more comfortable and doesn't have that pinchy underwire, that can be your nemesis. Because really, truly, that's what a lot of the women, if you talk to women across the board about, their chest, they get pinched by their underwire. That seems to be the number one complaint. So why not go with a product that doesn't have an underwire and still gives you the same support, lift, and lets you move and allows you to breathe and gives you great shape and form and freedom.
Right.
That's what I would definitely say. It's
Yeah.
like, if you're in the market, just try it.
Right.
you know
Right. Well, that pretty much covers it all. So the last thing I want to just bring up is, I know you were very busy. And when I reached out to you, and I can't even really remember how the conversation came up about joining my team, about being a stylist. You have a lot going on in your world, right? I mean, obviously this was a little bit before the pandemic happened,
Yeah, hello.
right? Right. But you have a lot on your plate anyway. And so, would you just kind of speak to that, of why you decided to say yes to joining Ruby Ribbon and sharing this with more women?
When I first ordered the items, you had asked me if I was interested, and, as women, we have to just try it. We have to kind of see what it's about first. So I said, oh, let me try the products and I'll get back to you. And yeah, once I've been wearing them and I liked them, I'm like, okay, I'm interested to see what this is all about and where this can go. And for me, it's not about, and I've kind of told you this, for me, it's not about the whole side hustle. It's not about, like making that bottom dollar. That's not what it is for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's truly just because I want people to know about it, because
Mm-hmm.
it's so comfortable and it's so freeing, especially as a larger woman such as myself, to
Mm-hmm.
find something that I truly love and is comfortable for me, and that I can, like, this is my off day this week. I can flop down and wear my cami and lounge around the house and just still feel feminine and free and comfortable at the same time. So that's truly what it's about, is just kind of spreading that love to
Mm-hmm.
other friends and family, and say, hey, I've got a product that you could really get into and really be comfortable with, and get rid of all the nasty, pinchy, constricting, squishy.
Right. all those
Right.
adjectives added in there. Right. Right.
Yeah. So that's really what it's about for me, is just letting everybody know about these products, and just, hey, you might want to try these because they're really great. You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm so
Wonderful.
glad that you said yes to trying the cami, and I really appreciate your input on all of this. People who know me know I'm a smaller chested gal, and so sometimes they look at me like, what does she know? She doesn't know what I got going. So,
Right.
right? So it's nice just to have that personal experience from somebody else who has experienced it. And
Hmm.
so I appreciate you sharing. Thanks for sharing and flashing your cami too. And for just helping more women. And again, a huge thank you to being out there on the front line. So you have to stay healthy too and be well. So we're all praying and thinking of you every single day. So
Well, thank you.
you're
Thank you. I
welcome.
really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I think it means the world to me.
Yeah. Okay.
Stay
Thank
home,
you.
everybody. It's not forever. It's just for now.
There we go. There we go. Awesome. Well, thank you again so much, Nikki, for being on here with us. And you have an awesome day.